I'm supposed to be building new income streams right now, but I'm avoiding any decisions related to money. To catch you up, I'm seeing how much I can change my life in the next 6 months for my dream of financial, creative, time, and location freedom. This series is supposed to show the messier behind the scenes. And this video is all about how I'm trying to get over my avoidance problems when it comes to making decisions. Also, I received something that really made me think about my writing dreams. Last month was all about experimenting. My big win was getting my first YouTube paycheck after getting monetized on YouTube. But I also learned some tough lessons about trying to do too much at once and completely messing up my first brand deal negotiation. The biggest takeaway I had was that I need a better tracking system and to focus on doing fewer priorities. I dropped learning how to make my first online game and figuring out my freelance offer to focus on landing my first brand deal and making a work portfolio for brands. What actually happened after that update? I ended up procrastinating a lot. I have an email for a brand deal, and it's supposed to let me get paid to do content, but I've been avoiding it for the last week. I think I'm self-sabotaging, and I need to figure out why I'm doing this and how to stop. More importantly, I need to respond to this email. I have this plus a contract to sign, and I've been putting it off for multiple days. When I get an email from a brand saying they want to pay me for making content, I end up actually ghosting for a week, and I don't know why. I think I just get overwhelmed, and even though I have tools like ChatGPT to help me with the negotiation email, something about actually responding gets me stuck. So I end up completely killing the momentum. The biggest takeaway I have is that it's important to use the energy when you're having it to do things right away. Like if I get an email and I've already put in the effort to draft a response, instead of sitting on it to say, okay, maybe I'll come back to this later, my energy might be spent at that point and I might not come back. So I'll just send it right away, even though it might not be perfect. Maybe I want to spend a little more time. I might as well just trust that I covered my bases and then send it off. It's worse to just sit on it and lose the momentum. For the next brand deal negotiation I ended up forcing myself to get to the point where I got a contract sent over. Even then, it still took me a week to sign the dang contract. I think what's happening is that I'm doing something new for the first time, and it's easy for me just to not want to deal with it, because then once I push through and do it, I'm committed. I'm committed to filming something for the brand. I'm committed to actually doing content as a business. Suddenly, it feels like a job, and I have a little bit of jobophobia. That's why at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about investments, because I think that's something where you truly don't answer to anyone else but yourself. But what's helping me think about this and get through it is to consider it as a learning opportunity. I am learning what it's like to film my first ad read and see if I like it or not. If I don't, well, I've learned something. And if I do, great, I can keep doing it. If you also find yourself procrastinating a lot, especially when it comes to money stuff, maybe this will help you too. I figured it's not about the money, it's about the commitment. I'm afraid of committing to something because everything feels like it's a little unstable right now. When you're rebuilding your life, every decision takes on so much more weight than it needs to. The way I'm trying to think about it now is that I'm trying to build up evidence that a good enough decision is not going to hurt me. It's better than never making the decision at all. I'm trying to think less and do more. When I get an email, I'm trying to put together a playbook on how I'm responding just to reduce how much thought I have to put into it. That way I can just respond faster and move on. I'm trying to accept that there are certain decisions I just can't know the outcome until I do the thing. And just to be more comfortable with doing something just to learn. Anyway, I sent off my script for my ad read and the brand approved, so I will be filming that next week. What I'm trying to do when I'm getting stuck is to go back to why am I even doing this in the first place? What is this all about? Overall, my goal is to keep going. Consistency is the win for me. To keep up that momentum, to get one win and then use that win to power the next thing I do. Let's talk about the why. Why am I doing this? I think we all want freedom in some way. And for me, freedom looks like being able to follow curiosity over logic. Like moving to London and writing a novel, even though there's no logical reason I need to be in London or write this novel. Speaking of writing in London, Let me show you what I got in the mail recently. My friend Mia sent me her first published children's book. This isn't sponsored or anything. I just love seeing friends finish creative projects, and it made me think about my own writing dreams. I know her and the concept artist from ice skating, and I remember when she mentioned to me last year that her dream had always been to write her first children's book. And now it's here. I can't believe I'm holding it. But holding this book made me realize if she can achieve her dreams, so can I. It was inspiring for me to see that she finished something, she put it out, she made a website to sell it. It's really cool, and I'm really proud of her for doing that. So now I'm trying to think, how can I balance out my time better so that I can have time to write? How can I combine my interest in travel, writing, and making money online so that I don't have to feel like it's either or. Either I post YouTube videos or I figure out how to write. But I also don't want to overwhelm myself. So I'm still working through that balance. And I'll take you along that journey of figuring it out. The only thing that I can really say I'm consistent about is posting on YouTube. Since I've gotten monetized, I've made a total of about $600. Now, here's where it gets exciting. I am investing that amount. I've put $600 into my Roth IRA. For those who don't know, a Roth IRA is a US retirement account. I funded it and I invested the money into a mutual fund. Done. Here's why that's a big deal. It matters if you're in the US and you're trying to turn your earnings into serious long-term wealth and you expect to retire wealthier than you are now, which is what I intend. I'm really excited about this because I haven't been able to contribute to a Roth IRA in years. Here's why I couldn't do it before. Before, I was working in the UK making a UK salary. So I couldn't contribute to a US retirement account. I didn't have any eligible US income. And YouTube finally made me eligible again. I've been monetized for 2 months now, and I contributed my YouTube earnings into my Roth IRA. And I plan to keep doing that until I max it out. This is all part of my plan to rebuild my financial life, so I'm excited to see what happens with my investments. I love thinking about my Roth IRA because it helps me feel free. I'm dropping all the raw numbers into my newsletter. Sign up for that if you haven't already. Next week, my goal is to actually make my UGC portfolio. I think I need to just get more comfortable putting out imperfect work. Even if it's a terrible portfolio, I'd rather it exist and be done and be terrible so then I can fix it rather than where it is at, which is just this background task in my head that I keep avoiding. I've been getting requests for coffee chats in my comments and DMs, and I actually got an offer for a paid coffee chat recently, so I'll talk more about that in the next episode. With the paid coffee chats, I'm realizing I might actually be closer to figuring out my freelance offer than I thought I was. Thanks so much for watching. Check this out next, and if you want to binge the rest of the series, the playlist is here.